Hello, welcome to another episode of AI Spotlight Show. We're live here at Race Summit here in Paris, France, and today we'll be featuring one of the, will I say, biggest player when it comes to providing a platform for you to train your model, for you to engage in model inferencing. And the name of the company is called Nebius. And who do we have the pleasure of speaking with?
I'm Tom Blackwell. I'm the Chief Communication Officer at Nebius.
Wow. Can you give us a little bit background about the company?
So it's actually a relatively new company. We formally launched it last year.
Okay.
But we're growing very, very quickly, and we're in the AI infrastructure space.
Yeah.
So we're building large sort of GPU clusters and AI factories around the world.
Okay.
Currently focused on Europe, UK, and the US.
Okay.
And growing very quickly.
Wow. And can you tell us the specific product offering that you guys offer? I know you talk about the infrastructure. Can you be more detailed about it?
So effectively what we're building is an AI cloud. So what that means is that we're servicing the AI industry, providing the sort of the back-end compute and cloud and software services that the AI industry needs to be able to grow.
Okay.
So as of today, our main customer base is the AI natives. So AI startups, scale-ups, they very much need the infrastructure that we're building to help them train and develop and run their own models.
Okay.
So they make up a big part of the customer base that we service at the moment.
Okay.
Looking forward into the future, we think that the growth is going to come from the adoption of AI by large corporate customers around the world.
Okay, that is amazing. And how are you guys powered or supported by NVIDIA in terms of building this infrastructure?
So first of all, NVIDIA is a very long-time strategic partner of the firm. We go back a long way with them. Okay. We have an important partnership with them. They're also one of our shareholders. And they're the main external input of what we're building. So we're somewhat unique in the industry in that we build the full stack AI infrastructure. So we build the data centers, the servers, the hardware inside the data centers, and then the cloud and software at top. The one external input is the GPUs, which we buy from NVIDIA. So they're an important strategic partner and important part of the full stack AI infrastructure offering network.
Wow, that is amazing. And where do you guys have your headquarters?
So our headquarters are in Amsterdam. We have about 600 people based in Amsterdam.
Okay.
And we also have hubs in the US, which is a very important strategic market for us, in Israel and other parts of Europe. And we actually recently announced that we're launching in the UK as well.
Wow. And I know there was a recent development in the US where Donald Trump has been affiliating with one of the big players when it comes to the making US a major market, for AI technology. Are you guys part of those vendors that are supporting what do you call it again? The SoftBank project, or what's the name? I'm trying
Stargate project.
The Stargate project, yeah.
So it's a bit early days in terms of Stargate, in terms of understanding exactly how it's going to work. We're certainly paying close attention. And it's very much in line with what we do. We build these sort of AI data centers and this infrastructure. But as of now, as I say, our main customer base, it's the startups. They're predominantly Silicon Valley based. And so the infrastructure that we're building in the US is largely aimed at servicing that client base.
Wow, that is amazing. Can you kind of highlight the strategy that you guys are using in terms of gaining this market dominance? Because I think I've interviewed a few companies that offer most similar products. And how are you guys able to penetrate into the market with your own unique strategy?
So one of the things that makes us somewhat unique in outside of the hyperscalers is that we're one of the relatively few cloud companies that build the full stack infrastructure, including our own dedicated AI cloud and software services on top.
Okay.
So what that allows us to do is to service a very broad range of customers. Okay. So there's also there are different business models among the cloud companies and the infrastructure companies. And so, for example, there are some companies that might service predominantly big tech, right here, the hyperscalers or the large US tech. Yeah. In that case, they don't need the full stack offering. They mostly just need the actual computing power and so on. And so it's a slightly different model. Our model is more, so it allows us to service a much broader and more diverse range of customers. And we think that's an important and interesting differentiator for us.
Wow. Can you mention the industry that you guys are currently serving?
So, the AI startups, I mean, this is across all, I mean, these are all new businesses. Many of them didn't exist a few years ago that are building different types of applications based on new LLMs, models, and so on. So they cover a very broad range of business types.
Okay.
When it comes to looking at the enterprise customer adoption of AI, so that for us is really, as I mentioned, the big new growth area. Some of the industries that we're particularly excited about and paying a lot of attention to involve the likes of life sciences and healthcare, finance, hedge funds, and a lot of things around video and so on, video creation. These are some of the industries where we're seeing more rapid adoption of AI into their workflows, but this is just the beginning. This is going to continue to grow very, very rapidly over the coming years.
Wow, that is amazing. Now, what do you think has been a major challenge in terms of having more organization adopt AI? And I'm making reference to this because there is a big concern, most especially in the regulated industry like banking sector and the healthcare, and about their patient data and also the customer data, where we have this kind of regulated policy like the HIPAA policy. Then what are you guys doing in order to kind of encourage these kinds of industry to adopt AI as quick as possible?
So listen, what we can do is to make sure that we have the infrastructure there and that we have a great product that makes it as easy as possible for enterprise customers around the world to start adopting AI into their workflows. You mentioned data. Obviously, that's a very critical issue. It's imperative for any corporation to understand that the data is secure. They know exactly where it sits. And so that's an important part of what we have to do. So we pay a lot of attention to data security, as any player would do if you're, in servicing the enterprise customer base. But overall, what we've seen over the past years is that the corporate sector has been on the verge of doing more in AI for some time. What's different now is that it's really starting to happen. So we think that really actually this year we're seeing a rapid rise in AI adoption, and that's just going to continue for the years to come.
Wow. Now, considering the fact that building AI technology and AI solution require a lot of, is capital intensive. What do you think will kind of help to bring down this price? I know I've spoken to a few people today and they all mention energy, that if the cost of energy goes down, then the pricing of all this AI infrastructure and GPU might definitely go down. But looking at what is going on in China, the likes of DeepSeek, who are actually making wave when it comes to AI innovation. Now, what do you think they are kind of, doing to produce these open source platform at a very cheaper?
So you're absolutely right. It's a very capital intensive industry, and it will always be capital intensive. Even if power prices come down, it's still a relatively small component of the overall pricing of building out this AI infrastructure. So, one of the things that actually is a key advantage for us is that it's an industry that's technology intensive and capital intensive. On the technology side, we have an amazing team of several hundred of the top AI engineers who've been working together for many years. So we have the real technological depth. And we also have a few $1 billion on our balance sheet. We listed on NASDAQ in October of last year. In December, we raised an additional $700 million when the likes of NVIDIA, Accel, and others came into our capital structure. And just a couple of weeks ago, we raised another $1 billion through a convert instrument. So we have a lot of capital to deploy and so on. When it comes to the likes of DeepSeek, is what you referenced. When DeepSeek first came out, if you look at the immediate market reaction, everybody was quite spooked by this, and it suddenly made people question the assumption as to whether you would see a justification for continued investment in AI infrastructure. There was 24 hours of panic, and by the end of the week, the market had really largely corrected, because I think that what people could see and what we could say ourselves is, on the one hand, yes, the price of maybe building some of these foundational models and applications might come down, but actually with DeepSeek, what it does is it provides an easier path into developing these models. And so by making the access to these potential AI models actually more affordable and more accessible, you encourage a greater number of players to come into the space. So overall, we don't think it changes the assumption that this is going to continue to be an industry that people will be able to, that will be investing into and will need to invest into, because it continues to provide the critical backbone for the continued development of the global AI industry.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. And my last question, what is Nebius doing in terms of helping to make, will I say the world, Europe, North America, a hub for AI talent? Because I know it's like there is a trade war between the US and the Chinese, and I believe the European, countries will also kind of back then.
Yeah.
What are you guys doing in order to help train the next generation of AI experts?
So, I think if you look at the AI up until now, indeed, the US is really the largest dominant market and has been up until now. We do believe that will change and start to even out, particularly as we see the rise in adoption of AI by enterprise customers around the world. Mm-hmm. Our role is to make sure that Europe has the infrastructure that it needs, the computing power and the cloud that is local within Europe, to ensure that they have continued access to this to drive the growth of the European AI industry. And so that's very much what we're doing. We're building in the US, but we're also building in Europe. We have facilities in Finland and Iceland. We have one here in Paris. We're just about to launch in the UK. And we'll do more. So I think, that's what we can do. That's how we contribute to the ecosystem, is by making sure that the AI natives and the corporations, they have access to the infrastructure that they need. And that's what we bring to the table.
Wow. Thank you so much for joining this episode of AI Spotlight Show.
My pleasure.
Wow, this is really interesting. If you're an organization out there that is looking for a reputable AI cloud infrastructure platform to train your models, or maybe to engage in model inferencing, or looking for a platform to manage your machine learning operation, you want to look at Nebius. And just as you heard from him, he said that most of their infrastructure are powered by NVIDIA. And I believe NVIDIA is recognized as one of the most reputable organizations when it comes to building AI hardware. And if you have any question or you would like to meet with our customer success team, visit their website and place a demo request. Thank you so much for joining this episode. We are still here at Ray Summit here, Paris in France, and stay tuned to our last interview to round up the summit. My name is Tim Harry Onole, the executive producer.